Oh, okay. Hi, Raquel. 2 minutes?
What do you have tomorrow?
I'm still sitting at the front desk. But I'm going to just make sure there was a waiting room. So I'm going to make sure that everybody, if anyone else joins, I'll add them, but I'm going to take myself off. Okay.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Ethan, was that you?
Yeah, hello.
Welcome to everyone. Let's see how many we got. We got 10 people in the room. We'll wait a second before we get going. Rod, are you going to want to say anything up front?
Hey, sorry about that, Mr. Turner. What were you referring to me?
Yeah. I didn't know if you had
Yeah.
anything that you wanted to share with the online students.
Well, I just wanted to present myself here. Any more admissions type questions, certainly don't hesitate to defer those to me. And I would say anybody, if you have any last minute items that need to be completed, so make sure that we can secure your start. Don't hesitate to either reach out to myself, and sorry I didn't introduce myself, it's Todd Dittmar, or reach out to your admissions counselor as well that you've been working with. But certainly look forward to working with all of you, though. Appreciate it, Mr. Turner.
Okay, thank you, Todd. All right, let me get my PowerPoint on the screen. And I think we are we recording? Let me make sure we're recording this. Okay, I think we're good. All right, we've got, looks like we have 10 on the call, and it could be a lot more than that. There's probably 30 some students potentially enrolling here in the fall. My name is Brad Turner. I'm the executive director of the College of Golf. I'd like to welcome everybody that has made the effort to be on this call, and hopefully tonight I can give you a few shortcuts, some cliff notes on how to get started with the program with online technology and some of the expectations of our online students. So I've got kind of a short presentation here, and then we'll get into our learning management system, which is called Blackboard. So I'll share a few things with you on that. So my background has been, I'm a PGA member for 36 years. I've been teaching golf for a long, long time. I've been in love with the game of golf from an early age. Formal education in golf and golf education started in 1991, and I worked my way from a faculty member to a director of golf to a campus president role, and it's really been my career. I've been with the Kaiser University since 2019, so education, this type of environment is something that I have a lot of experience with, and I absolutely love it. I really, really do. From a competitive golf perspective, I played in PGA Tour event, NCAA championships, US Amateur. I still like to compete in section events. So golf has been really a lifetime journey for me to figure out this crazy game and to help others understand it, embrace it, and make it part of their career, their life for sure, depending on what they wanted to do. So my objectives tonight, there's two things I really want to do. Is I want to talk a little bit about online instruction, golf instruction, briefly talk about that. And then I want to get into Blackboard and kind of show you around as you get started with the program. So online golf instruction, I have quite a few things I'm doing right now for the College of Golf. And one of them is helping our online students with their golf game. So online instruction can be done. Most of you, if I have a chance to ever chat with you and have an interview with you, many golfers today are getting feedback from videos online, YouTube, social influencers with regard to golf. And, that's one way of getting information. But a better way is to have a relationship with a coach that understands where you're at, where you want to go, and hopefully get you moving in that direction. So online lessons are part of our program. Even though you could be all across the country and I'm going to be in West Palm Beach, I'm still going to be able to help you. Maybe not as efficiently as I could if I was with you, but given the situation where we could be 1,000 miles apart, it's the best we've got going. Okay, so if you're interested in really getting better at golf, and some people have the time and desire to do it, then I highly recommend getting some online help, or at least getting started. And for others, it's just going to be maybe too demanding, and you won't be able to utilize this, but it's still going to be available to you. And I think you'll still like the things that you'll receive, even if you don't take individual lessons. So one of the first things you're going to do, I have not done this yet, is once we get a roster of all our students that are starting, I'm going to create what we call a Coach Now account. And Coach Now is an app that is used for not only golf coaches, but soccer coaches, tennis coaches, all kinds of coaches use it. The main thing that it'll do, it's a communication tool. So I can communicate with all the new students, which is what I'm going to do. All the new students for the College of Golf are going to get information from me, identical information from me. So I can communicate to 35 people all at the same time. And then I can also individualize that if I want to, depending on if you're looking for information on your own game, that's how that would work. So you're going to receive an email from me personally telling you, hey, these are the things that are going to be happening. And then to look for a Coach Now email in your student account, your student email account. Now, one of the things you got to do is you've got to set that thing up. Once the course opens to you, and I'm going to show you where to go on that here in a second, but you need to open up or set up your student email account, and then you'll start receiving all kinds of information from your faculty. Also, you're going to get an email from Coach Now, and it'll give you a link on how to download the app, and then you'll be connected to me as your coach. All right, so that's how that's going to work. I send out educational videos. I'll send them to you. I'll send them to the entire student body, okay, which would be over 200 students. I might, just depends on what I see, what's interesting, what's happening in golf. So you'll see how that goes. Coach Now is a wonderful tool. I highly recommend, even if you don't want individual help with your game, I highly recommend using that. Now, if you're in the master's degree, I teach all the master's degree classes for the College of Golf, then we actually use that Coach Now app as part of the curriculum. I'm asking my students to use it. So a voiceover, what that is if, let's say, you send me a video of you hitting a bunker shot, I'll look at it, and then I do, just like it sounds, I'll do a voiceover of your video and explain to you what I'm seeing and make some comments on what we might want to do to improve. And depending on what it is, I may have a stock video that I've already shot that I say, hey, I want you to take a look at this video, or I may shoot a personalized video depending on who you are, what you're doing, and the complexity of the communication that I need to convey to you. So that's what a voiceover is. Sometimes I do voiceovers of LPGA, PGA Tour players. So it's mostly just informational. Just keep educating you on that. All right. Now, if you want help, one of the things that you'll do once you get Coach Now downloaded, then you're going to start sending me videos. I just got a student from July who never saw all the emails, and now he wants help, which is perfectly fine. And I just got an email from him. I think he started in May, right? And now that I've got an email, I ask him to complete a survey. I always like to know a little bit about your background. Sometimes I like to do a conversation, if that's what the student wants. All right, so I can find out a little bit more about your background, what your goals are, make sure you understand how to use Coach Now, answer any questions. But it's really important for me to understand more of what you want to do, so I can start moving forward with some ideas on how to help you improve your golf game. If you are interested in this kind of thing, and I'll send some more communications to you, but the videos, I just need short, like one swing videos. I've had students send me 40 swings, and I know you all don't know that much about golf instruction maybe at this point, but I don't need 40. All I need is one. It doesn't matter if you hit a good one or a bad one. It really doesn't matter. All I need is one, and we'll be able to pretty much pinpoint what we need to do to get better. Okay. All right, so that's kind of a summary of an online benefit as a student at the College of Golf. If you want to get better at golf, you know, I'm here to help you. And I've been doing this, like I said, a long time. And it's probably one of my favorite aspects of my job is to do that. Now, Blackboard, let's talk about Blackboard. That's our learning management system. That's what we use as faculty members to set up our courses and to communicate with our students. So from an online perspective, I'm never going to receive any, you're not sending papers through the mail. Everything is done through Blackboard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share, let's see if I can remember how to share my screen. Let's see, right, go here. So I'm going to share my screen. So when I do that, I'm probably not going to be able to see much of everyone, but can you guys see me in the left-hand corner of the screen there? Good. Okay. So I'm going to, this is Blackboard. So this is our learning management system. Now you need to be able to log into this, and there's a step before this where you put in your student email and your password. And once you get that, then you'll come to this page right here. All right, and I'm on the institution page right now. And this is actually my faculty institution page, which is slightly different than a student information page. But just to let you know, I am in the doctoral program at Kaiser University. So it looks exactly like this from a student perspective, just a few things are different. So helpful resources, if you see that, this is an important page to go to. So if you look on the left-hand menu bar there, I'm on the institutional page. Okay, I'll click the Brad Turner. That's just information on me. Go back to the institutional page. So here's a couple important things here. If you need help with Blackboard, there's a help link there and there's a phone number. And if you call your faculty member, and I get students that'll call me and say, hey, I'm having trouble. Well, my IT skills are not the best. I'm pretty good at the basic things, but if you really are having an issue, that's where you need to go, okay? And I'm not going to click through all these links because that can take you down some interesting pathways. I do recommend that you go through every one of those links. At some point say, what does this have to say, right? Now, important links would be, this one says faculty log into your 365 account. Yours is going to say, I think it's going to say student login to your 365 account. So when you log into the 365 account, that's how you're going to begin setting up your email and access to your emails and access to Office 365, so you can have access to PowerPoint, Word. If you don't have that on your laptop, once you log in, you'll be able to use all those Microsoft products. So you make sure you go to your student login. You'll have to create your account or set it up. I'm not sure exactly. I can't remember how I did that, but there you go. Now this one, it says access web client. Yours won't say that. Yours will say access student portal. So when you go to the student portal, you'll be able to look at everything, all your grades that you may have accumulated over time. You can go to the financial aid office if there's, a payment you have to make. Do this all through Blackboard. It's great. It really is. Access the student bookstore. You can do all these things. And again, I'm not going to click through all of this because it could be overwhelming. And one of the things I know about orientations is they can be somewhat painful. So I'm trying to keep it as concise and hit the most important things as I possibly can. So back to the left menu bar, the main things that you'll see is you go to your courses. For me as a faculty member, it's going to say courses, and I think it says that as a student as well. So I'm going to go ahead and click on courses, and I'm going to start showing you around a little bit in a particular class. So these are classes that are pending for the September start. You would not see anything until September 1. It says here, the classes become available on September 1. That's going to be Sunday. So come Sunday, once you get to this point, you will be able to, your class is going to show up. Now, these are all classes that I'm either the primary instructor or secondary instructor. So I'm going to go to Introduction to Golf Course Maintenance. So I'm going to click on that. And that might be the only course you'll see. And then I'm going to show you, this is a faculty view. And I'm going to flip it around to a student view. So this is more or less what you're going to see right here. Okay, now this may not be totally ready for prime time viewing of students because it's Wednesday and we have until Sunday to update things and change a few things around, but we're going to go through it anyway. So this is Introduction to Golf Course Maintenance. One of the things you may want to do is, this is your home page. If there's announcements that the instructor has, they may share announcements with you. In my doctoral program, I've had some faculty members that are really good about announcements, and I've some that have never done any announcements. So I would just, as a student, check to say, hey, are we going to have announcements? These are important summaries of what's been going on and what's going forward. Most likely that's what the announcements will be for. Meet the instructor. There'll be a better bio than this come Sunday, but you click on that, you can read about your instructor. And I know the first week, depending on the class, depending on the instructor, I know Josh Breda, who's teaching this particular class, definitely likes to get to know who you are, where you're at, especially in the turfgrass program where you are regionally makes a difference. So course calendar, I'm not going to go to that. Kaiser Library, if you click on the Kaiser Library, which I'm not going to do, but I want you to do that on your own, and it's going to take you to the Kaiser Library. Now, there is more information than you can ever imagine on our library. Historically, libraries were a sign of quality in institutions, that if you had a big library, lots of books, that was very, very valuable. And with the internet, as you can imagine, books just don't get checked out. Even at Harvard University, they're just not. Everything's, online. So the Kaiser Library is robust. You just have to go there and start clicking around, start understanding how to do some things. Again, there's resources to show you how to do that, but I don't want to do that tonight. Kaltura Live, you're going to have one night a week, you're going to have a Kaltura Live session with your professor. And that live session, all you would do is you could go to the Kaltura Live, like I'm going to click on it, and it takes you to another link, and it may say the time. I don't know what time this class will be next week, but it'll say maybe Tuesday at 5 o'clock in the evening Eastern time, or 6 o'clock. I don't know what he'll put in there. And then you just click on Kaltura Live, and you'll say, well, that shows no meeting, but it'll have a meeting, and you just click on meeting, and you're there, and you're good to go. Okay, it's as simple as that. You can't not get there. It's as easy as that right there. Okay. So Kaltura Live, discussion board, I'll come back to that maybe, but go through all those little hyperlinks there, just check them out. And then getting started. Okay, this is important to get rolling in your class this way. So click on getting started. It's going to give you a course overview. This is all in your syllabus. Most all of this is all in your syllabus, but it's online as well in the system there. And you're going to come to this as certification and syllabus acknowledgement. We used to call it certification test. I think it used to freak people out. Okay, but no, all you're going to do is you're going to click on that, and you're going to take this test, or this test can be saved and resumed later. Okay, you begin, and it's just certification of the coursework. Basically, what we're asking is that when you present your work, that it is your original work. That if you are writing a paper, you're citing the sources of where you got your information. Okay, that's really important, that we don't plagiarize, because that can become an issue. Now, for those that haven't written a lot of papers recently, there's a writing. There's this icon over here, writing help. There's a place where you can go submit papers, and there's resources there to help you with your writing. Okay, so basically this is something you're just going to look through this and kind of read through it and say, yes, I abide by that, true. And then the next question is, by clicking the true, I affirm that I've received, read, and understood the information provided in the syllabus, etc. True. Boom, save and submit, and you're done. It's as simple as that. Okay, that's all you're going to have to do. Okay, and then we go past the certification syllabus acknowledgement. We get to the pre-test. Now, it does say test in there, so I'll pop this one open. Pre-test. It's 20 questions, multiple choice. And please do not prepare for the pretest. You do not have to do that. The idea is, okay, you're going to take the test. How did you do? You know, in theory, you shouldn't do well because this is going to be new information. But it depends on who you are and what your background is, what your experience is. You might do better than most, but it's just a baseline. Okay, so you begin the test, you complete it. It has no bearing on your grade whatsoever. If you get 100 on the pretest, you could still get a C in the class. You could get a 10 on the pretest and get an A in the class. So don't worry about it, and do not prepare. Just take it. Just take it. It should take you 20 minutes maximum to do it. Just read the question, come up with an answer that you think makes the most sense, and move on. All right, so once we're done with that, let's see, anything else on this page? I think that's about it, okay? And then we can begin week 1. So let's go to week 1, hopefully. Okay, week 1. And I'll glean through this fairly quickly and then open it up for a few questions that you may have. But this kind of organizes what is going to happen for this week in this class, what you're going to have to do. So week 1 overview, it tells you to complete the course certification, complete the pretest. We just talked about that. And then all the different things that you need to do during the week. And every professor is going to be a little bit different in how they present their overview and what they're going to want you to do. Depends on the class, but it should give you a pretty clear idea of what is expected for the week. All right. Week 1 objectives. This is much more of an academic requirement, which basically tells you, the learner, hey, these are the things that we're going to discuss this week. These are the course objectives. There's 8 primary course objectives in this particular class. Every class has unique course objectives. In this week, the bolded objectives are the ones they're focusing on. You usually will focus on 1 or 2 objectives in each week, not all 8. All right. So those are your objectives. Learning activities, the things that Josh wants you to do. If you're in his class, these are the things that he wants you to do. So again, it'll just list activities that are expected. These are going to be in this class. They're usually videos to watch, articles to watch, or articles to read and videos to watch that align with the course of objectives for the week. All right. Readings from your textbook. So here's the readings. There's only a few pages, but you know, it doesn't look like a lot. But this book is a robust, small font book with tons of information. So, you know, 3 to 6 pages doesn't seem like much, but it's going to be sufficient with all the other activities that we have. And then Kaltura Live. This is another way to get to Kaltura Live. You can go to your week 1 and go right to Kaltura Live and access the class that way. And there we go. Now, the Kaltura Live sessions are 10% of your grade. And I don't know when Josh will have it. Let's just say it's Tuesday at 6 o'clock in the evening. And you're living in California and you are working, then we got a problem. So what we do is we just ask you to write a session report. So a session report is simply, we're going to record the session, then you will look at it and provide the professor with a summary of the session. And again, every professor is going to have different standards of that. The main thing for me was always, I needed evidence that you were actually viewing things. Okay. I've done little things like embed a passcode and just give me the passcode. But you'll have to find it in the live session. So just watch the session. If you watch the session and you give me the passcode, then at least you were watching. Okay, so there's different ways that instructors will do that. Okay, but the idea is if you're in California, you're not getting penalized for not showing up, even if it's 10% of your grade. It would require you to watch the video just like everyone else is required to go to class. Okay, so that's how that works, and it's really no problem. There should not be any issues with that, no matter where you are. I have a student in Korea in the master's degree program. I only see him in videos. I never see him on our live session. He's sleeping, so that's how that works. So that's 10% of your grade. Discussions. Every week you'll have a discussion. This is 20% of your grade, 2.5% for each week. And the idea behind this is we're not in an environment, in a room together to have a live discussion generally. All right, so the discussion of a topic, which might traditionally be completed, the professor says, I need you 3 people over here to talk about why have a career in the golf course maintenance? Okay, why have a career in golf course maintenance? You 3 discuss the same thing, and let's bring together some of the thoughts that you have. That's the whole idea behind discussions, but we do it online, and we're doing it at times that are convenient for the student. So you'll see that you're going to create an initial post. You go through whatever the requirements are of the discussion, and then you see click on the create discussion thread. So I would click on, I don't know if this is going to activate or not. I'm going to click on discussion. Okay, there you go. So it says forum week 1 discussion, create thread. I click on create thread. I put my name in there, and then I begin, typing away whatever it is that I want to talk about. Okay. And you are going to, in this class, let's go to the discussion. So the initial post, about 350 words. You'll get an idea what that is after you've done a few of these things, and then you have to respond to 2 of your peers. So that's pretty much it. And he'll tell you more about what he's looking for. But if I was looking at this discussion question as a student, I'd say, okay, I gotta watch that video. Where do I currently live? Identify my home course. What type of golf facility you work at? What do you see for the future of golf and turf grass management? Okay. Look at the video, maybe do some additional research, put that in my initial post, share that with my classmates. That's the whole idea behind discussions right there. Now, study guide week 1, and I think this is active. Yeah, okay, so here's a study guide for week 1, and I think, Josh likes to do this because turf grass management, it's complex. There's a lot to it. So he's trying to get you to hone in on the key elements of the week. So you have a study guide, and not every professor does this, so don't expect it, but just showing it to you because it's in this particular class, kind of gives you a way to figure out answers that he might be looking for. And then you'll have a quiz. Now, you see it's not showing here, but it's there. I'm going to show you where it is. I'm going to exit student preview. And now we're back on faculty preview. So if I go back to week 1, again, I scroll down, there's my study guide, and you see quiz week 1. Availability, item is hidden from students. And I've always asked the faculty to look, if you're going to do a quiz or, you know, something like that, I recommend hiding it from students until after the live session, after the Kaltura live session. It's not a requirement. So some faculty members may just keep it open and you can have access to it. Okay, but there we go. So it's going to most likely be there. Okay, but if it's not showing, sometimes the instructor just needs to activate it and make it available. All you do there as a faculty member is just see the make available. I click on that and boom, you have access to it. Okay, so there's week one. And I think that's going to be, let me go back to student view one more time. Your grades, my grades, whatever's been required in the class would show up here. Okay, so you'll see these are all the things that are part of this class that you're going to have to do. Okay, now one other thing I got to tell you. Usually we're going to only make available 1 or 2 weeks at a time. So this is showing I can go to week 2, I can go to week 3, I can go to week 8 if I want to. But that's going to change once we go live on Sunday. Usually I always like to do 1 week at a time. And it forces people to stay together and not get too far ahead. Now, on a case-by-case basis, if someone's going to be out of town, they're traveling, they need to try to get their work done ahead of time, then of course I always accommodate that. That's not a problem. But generally, you're only going to see instead of week 2 through 8, you're only going to see week 1 most likely, maybe week 1 and week 2. But week 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 are there. They're just hidden from you. Okay. All right. With that, I'm going to stop sharing and come back to the group. Okay, there we go. All right. Does anybody have any questions that they have written down after that 37-minute presentation? Mr. Detmar, did I miss anything, or you want to?
I don't think you did. That was, yeah, you covered everything quite well. I was actually glad to see that too, because the last time that I used Blackboard about 10 years ago, when I did my MBA program, it's changed quite a bit since then. So it's kind of a nice refresher for myself, because I like to help out the students if they call me with any questions. But no, I think you covered everything quite well. I think if everybody here there may be someone, 1 or 2 people potentially that are not in one of our golf degree programs. And if so, I mean, this is certainly very valuable for you. The rest of you, and I know the majority would be, if not maybe everyone is, definitely make sure you take advantage of these degree programs because they're solid programs. You got Mr. Turner is a very good resource. You know, take advantage of the lessons, no doubt about it, all the classes, and definitely don't hesitate to reach out to any of us. Now, even though I'm in the admissions department, you can reach out to me anytime. If you got any questions, you need to get in touch with somebody. You know, if you don't know who the resource would be, like I said, don't hesitate to reach out. But don't forget to log in. You can log in as early as Sunday. Those classes will be available then to get activated. But yeah, appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, sir. Yes, to reiterate what Mr. Ditmar is saying, I'm available to you. I may not have you as a student in the classroom. I may have you as a student on the lesson tee, so to speak, even though we might be 1,000 miles apart. You'll have my email. Once I send it to you, you'll have access to that. So usually you can text me, email me, or Coach Now me once you download the Coach Now app. If you call me, I will not answer until I find out who it is, just to tell you. And then once I know who it is, I'll put your name in the phone, and then but texting's a good way, and email are my favorites because I'm pretty busy and I don't always have time to chat, so I have to find the time. So, okay, any questions from you all?
This is Vernon Allen. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the only one question I have when you're going through the Blackboard, it said that is it Kaltura Live? And
Kaltura Live.
Kaltura Live. Now, does that only use the Chrome browser to access that?
Yes, yes. Use the Chrome browser is what works best.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, I appreciate your time tonight, and hopefully we'll see you on Coach Now or potentially online in another form or fashion. So have a good rest of the week and good luck in the upcoming semester. Have a good evening, guys.
All right. Thank you. You too. Have a good one.